everyone, this is Ellen Francisco. Thanks for coming into my channel. I wanted to take a look at some energies running through the week. It's been off to a bombastic start with the leftover from the spring eclipses. So I hope you're doing a lot to take care of yourself because you're going to be needing to. Anyway, let's see what's cooking in the cards, as they say. And with the idea of asking what do we need to know this week. Alright, I'm going to cut the cards. Nothing's flying out, but I do feel like there's a lot of impatience in the surfaces. Oh, alright. Well, we're coming in with Seven of Swords as our main card today. This is like a little gateway into the invisible worlds, and with the sevens, with the swords, it corresponds to your truth, your throat chakra, and your ability to protect your own truth, to listen to your own truth, to not betray your own truth. To get the idea, it's a lot about truth. A lot of people are creating sacred circles in order to give birth to sweet babies, and some are creating sacred circles to just protect their creative projects and things like that. So however you want to interpret this card, it is basically a bit of a trust card as well. Universe is expecting you to trust the information coming to you, to use your intuition, to also, you may want to just protect your assets or your personal belongings. Sometimes this card speaks a little bit about not being able to trust the ones that you don't already trust. So, no time to trust the people you've already decided you can't trust. And and understand that there's a lot of spiritual protection that comes with this card too, but it does ask you to take responsibility and do your own due diligence as well. Okay? It's a beautiful card. And crossing us this week is the Nine of Wands. I'm not surprised, honestly. You know, the eclipses churned up a lot of the background of our lives and the deep, deep depths and the past, the deep path with past lives and things like that. So we're still in our wound in a lot of ways, So definitely don't be pushing too much in too many directions. It's better just to focus on the emotional duress running through you in a way that you can just face it, be with it, surrender to it. You may end up speaking more about some of your traumas and things like that that are coming up. They may just need to be aired, and it does make sense that if we have this Seven of Swords asking to protect our truth, that the Nine of Wands would demand that we tell it, you know, and it would demand that it come more to the surface so that it doesn't bog you down. I felt like this card was coming up a lot in the last month and a half, couple months with some of my collective conscience readings, because so many of us are purging old karmas and old past lives and things like that, and trying to finalize things once and for all, as far as, you know, ending karmic repetitive cycles. So a lot of times when you're finished something and completed something, you do tend to talk more about it. So you may be helping other people with their traumas as as you've healed your traumas. And then the other card we've got this week is the Six of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles to me is like the grandmothers visiting, you know, the ancestors who've gone before on the feminine side, and the aunties and the grandmothers and the great-grands and things like that, the sisters and the moms. So they're coming through. You may be speaking more to family about old wounds as well, if that's the case. With the 9 coming up, you know, you may be also protecting yourself from the family that's caused you pain. I mean, all of these cards kind of working together would simulate a little bit of cautious, if you're dealing with living relatives that it's hard to get along with, this is not the week to be playing in the playground with them. This is the week to be just taking care of yourself as much as possible, keeping it simple, and yeah, unless they want to talk about it, I may not be able to talk to too many people about some of your stuff, but it still has to be talked about. It's kind of ironic, isn't it? A little bit of paradox going on, I think. So the card coming up is Three of Cups. A lot of gratitude, a lot of celebration, a lot of community and sacred circle with the women you love. So you may be bonding more with women that you already do trust, that do hold some substance for you in your life. You may be searching for women like that in your spiritual family, especially if you're building more um, sacred ground with yourself. Yeah. And yeah, the other thing too is, a lot of us, I think, are coming into our powers in ways that we haven't before. And even if these powers have been sitting underneath the surface or even on our fingertips, it's inloaded a little bit differently now. So you may be celebrating work well done during this whole last phase of letting go and surrendering to the forces and allowing the universe to kind of take the reins a little bit while you trusted and had faith. So this could be your reward time as well. And yeah, I would say we do have some rewards coming because look at this lovely next card. It's the Ace of Cups. So this is, the orange with the sacral chakra, the yellow with goddess, divine energy, as well as, yeah, gold. I see gold coming through the crown chakra quite a bit. That's like the highway to heaven. So you would be, and also from the cosmos, so you would have been getting a lot of great new downloads that you're making the most of. Basically, it probably took a little bit of time to integrate. Actually, I believe it does. And it's funny, we get hit by the light, and what's focused, on us, crossing us, is our wound. So it's interesting how, isn't it? Like working towards the light is always bringing the shadow to the surface or clearing out the pain that doesn't need to be in the body or in the psyche or in the auric field or anywhere else. So I would say love your pain away. That would probably be a good way to do it. I would also keep it so extremely simple. The energies are chaotic and intense and explosive and um, coming from every direction in unpredictable, unseen ways. So I would say just kind of batten down the hatches. Don't play with humanity unless you really absolutely need to. Get the most important things done and have a little bit of fun and try not to take things too seriously because you've also got the high priestess who is feeling everything, 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 and she's rooting it in. So you may be feeling it as this Ace of Cups here kind of hints at, like these cosmic waves and all the solar light from this last eclipse and the solar plexus being activated by that, as well as our sacral chakra is taking a lot of this information and integrating it through, our internal organs and everywhere else. It's got to be integrated. So as it integrates, it's grounding down further into your system, into your root chakra, and turning into this fluidity that would be demanded by the universe right now. So it's interesting that we've got all this fire in the air and people are getting angry and a little bit explosive and things like that. Like, don't go to war today with anybody or any time this week, even though there may be a little bit of a war raging on. I would say just go dance it out somewhere, like in your living room, or do something physical that's going to bring it out. Also, pay a lot of attention to yourself. You're a little more tuned in than you probably believe or feel. Even if you feel a little lost, it doesn't really it doesn't really mean that you are. It just means that you may have a new normal that isn't very used to you yet. So with the High Priestess energy, there is a big demand to surrender. Surrender to the universe, surrender to the flow, go with the flow. So as things are molten lava moving around you constantly, um, find cooler waters and just, yeah, sink in. Sink into the cooler waters. Just tuning into some of the other energies. Well, it does in some ways feel like the storm before the storm, after the storm, during the storm. That's kind of a little bit like the Mars energy that's hitting. If you're not used to that kind of fire energy, I think it's going to be really uncomfortable, or I guess I guess what's possible is a lot of people will be expressing a whole lot of anger that's kind of been suppressed, or they've been trying their best appropriately to keep at bay. And I just think it's going to come out. I just think a lot of it's coming out. So I think that's maybe why our first card is the Seven of Swords, because it does say, hey, keep your circle close to you, keep your beloved, keep your valuables, and keep your sanity even close to you. Some of the other influences we're dealing with the star. We saw this right before the eclipse in one of my last readings. So here she is again coming out. Lots of truth, lots of unveiling, lots of poking through, lots of people going into new dimensions in themselves, literally and figuratively. As some of this energy may be working through your third eye rather than your crown chakra. Just depends on what the point is in some of your spiritual lessons right now. And anyway, you would be becoming more comfortable with some of these new mini superpowers that are accentuating more. For those of us who have been doing our work and our due diligence as far as around spiritual health and keeping our emotional boundaries intact and keeping our mental processes in check and things like that, praying for the highest good and being fluid to the science of the universe. This is a whole lot of breakthrough in this next few weeks, and a lot to look forward to. So in some ways, it really would be good to just have a little mini respite, gain as much rest and equilibrium in these new energies, and don't overdo it. Rather save your energy for when Spirit does move you in sweet and odd and unusual little directions that you didn't expect. Because I think there is a lot of the expect the unexpected in this week and next week's energies. Also got Lovers. It's coming in upside down. So I know a lot of us ended relationships. Lots and lots of people had to look at their relationships. They had to look at their relationship with themselves and with the others, their loved ones, and they had to decide what best energies to pursue. And a lot of people took a step away, knowing that it wasn't quite the degree of deepest soul truth and frequency and all the rest of it. So if you had outgrown your partner and they weren't growing, then Spirit would have demanded one of you ended it. So if you were the one holding on, it's quite possible that universe did for you what you couldn't do for yourself during these last couple of months, and you're still reeling from your new singledom And hopefully you're not lost in the heartache. Hopefully you do understand that anything that ended during this last little bit with the eclipses was absolutely meant to end, wasn't meant to endure. It's sad to say goodbye, but you know, there's a lot that we don't know about our highest good and our highest possibilities that our higher self just can't translate into our little human bodies down here with our simple little brains. So trust that there's a lot trying to be better and more in tune for you. So if you've had relationships that have fallen apart, don't get locked up in the woe is me, okay? Trust that universe is trying to do something better for you if that's really a soul truth and a heart goal that you have for yourself. And anyway, the more you are staying true to yourself and doing your self care ultimately and protecting and using your discernment and your intuitive discernment as well. You're using your intuitive channels religiously. That could be your new religion. It's just using your intuition religiously. You'll enjoy the fruits of your labor and the love will come. So, and we do have another warning card. This is a Three of Swords. It's kind of like the heartache betrayal card. So some of us may have been felt, we would have been, sorry, my words, we would have felt like the universe had betrayed us in some ways if some of the relationships that ended were loved ones that left the planet and had to say goodbye to the earth plane. So that's for sure. There's also a lot of the betrayal undertones and overtones sometimes when you end relationship because one part of the relationship usually feels like there's resentments built up and things like that. So so you may be healing heart betrayal wounds. You may also be coming to terms with the fact that you may have seen or had red flags ahead of time to warn you, and you just may not have done anything about it, or it wasn't time. And maybe that's the point. Maybe spirit needed you to see what betrayal feels like so that you cannot betray yourself. But you would certainly be working on making sure that you are not betraying your truth. No time for second chances. The stakes are too high, and Spirit's really trying to get you into the new stratosphere of your own sense of abundance, purpose, mission accomplished kind of let's get this game going and save humanity with all our superpowers, right? Like everybody's got their little bits that they've got to do. So wasting time not listening to yourself is not helping anybody. It's just delaying the inevitable. And you know how, like, if you're already 2/3 of the way tuned into yourself, or even, you know, halfway there, you know that when you don't listen to your intuition, the universe, in one way or another, speaks loud and clear that they'd prefer you not to do that. So, you know, nothing's changed in the invisible worlds, okay? They're still looking for the fast track. They're still looking to get you there sooner, faster, stronger, okay? So work with the will of the universe for you. Be willing to give it the benefit of the doubt. You don't know everything. You can't see your own blind spots. And right now it's a hailstorm of emotional baggage flurries. Even if you've sort of let go of the baggage hasn't quite let go of you. And yeah, like, sheesh, man. Hopefully your zippers don't break this week. But that's kind of yeah, it's very frazzly energy. So definitely don't go into this looking for extra punishment, okay, for this week and next. So I'm gonna pull one more card just to give us a little bit of what else should we pay attention to this week, and what do we need to know about the energies ruling the roost at the moment. Um, Two of Swords. Gee, another sword. And twos are balance, balancing things out. They're paradoxes, you know, extremes. Where's the middle? Who knows? I can just see the extremes. you know, but this gal, she can't see a thing because her third eye's gone. They've covered it up. And yet somehow she's still getting the messages. So back to that image of the high priestess earlier, you would be having to use your sentient abilities. We were warned with that with the Ace of Cups as well, with her orange sacral chakra, you know, bringing in golden light from the cosmos and the heavens and the all those great places behind the veil. So yeah, I would say you're not going to be able to see every single step that you need to take. Like even if you're a visual person and you need to know, okay, what's my next step? I can see that. I'm going to do that. Not so much. It's more going to be about feeling your way through the dark. What's your next logical step, and are you willing to take it without knowing where you're going to go? Universe meets you halfway with every step you take. I promise. Usually it multiplies more than meets you halfway. So you do get a lot of return on your investment when you trust the universe, and it's worth testing it out. Do you know what I mean? Test it out. And keep your circle close. You know, keep your loved ones kind of close to you a little bit, unless you don't get along with them. and then keep that healthy boundary. Okay? And that's what I got. And you may be, oh yeah. So, you know, a lot of us are still working under tower energy. It flew out of the deck earlier. I didn't pick it up and I buried it again, but so I don't know what I do with it. But we do have some tower energy as well. So that's sometimes you know, your address can change. People can come in and out of the house. You can do renovations you didn't expect to, and on and on and on. So sometimes our homes are a material version of our own temple, body temple, and how we house ourselves in it. So if you do have things going on in the home, take a look at that and then ask yourself, how does this apply to my body and my temple and my sacred space? And am I doing anything to honor it and help it endure through these unusual and unpredictable times? That's what I would say. Okay, so I'll see you soon, and hopefully, yeah, and hopefully, don't let the angers build up. You know what I mean? Like pick your fights. Like I said, not a good time to like wage war with the world. Better to just go exercise and move a lot of stuff out of your first chakra through exercise or something like that. Okay, and may the force be with you. Take very good care, and thanks for watching. Bye for now.